Hi, you can call me Enas. I like to make Dota 2 hero suggestions. My personal favorite of all of my hero suggestions I have made so far is the Witch of Oz. Yes, that is a play on the Wizard of Oz. She is the Witch of Oz. She is a ranged unit. She has a disable, she has a high damage spell, and she can support. She would be a decent mid, I would imagine, but we'll get into that a little further in the review, or this showcase. Your first spell. You target a unit, and then it starts with 400 units cast range. It has a flat amount of damage plus a fraction of the distance away you are from the target as damage or heal. If an ally, it's a heal. If it's an enemy, it's damage. If you cast it on yourself, it'll always count as the max distance because it wouldn't make sense to have it any other way. If you alt cast it, you can actually hurt yourself with it. That is relevant for the alt, and I will get into that later. This spell has a 120 mana cost and a cooldown of 12 down to 6 seconds, so it's down by 2 seconds each level. Second spell, it's a toggle. You can convert your movement speed into cast range. Level 1, this is a 1 to 1.5, so this means every 100 movement speed you give up, you get 150 cast range. At max level, it's 1 to 3, so that means 100 movement speed can be 300 cast range. This effect lasts for 6 seconds. However, every time you toggle it again, it'll reset to 6 seconds. So it just costs 30 mana per second, although you're already paying for it with the movement speed, so it's partially paid for with that. Ogden's Scepter upgrade improves the ratio by 2. This means instead of a 1 to 3, you'd have a 1 to 5 at max level. Your third spell, Voice for Arms, you target an enemy or yourself, and the target is silenced and takes magic damage per second, while you, every time that you cast this, you get bonus physical damage, but then you're also disarmed. And I know that doesn't make much sense. Why would you want to be disarmed and have bonus physical damage at the same time? Well, the ult will explain it. Your Ogden's Shard upgrade, Tether Strings. You target a location on the ground within 300 units of you. After a 3-second delay, you are brought to that destination, as long as you don't exceed 2,000 units. This affects... So this works with the ult, which, again... think of this similar to like an X marks the spot on Kunkka. Although you get to choose the location where you X by a cast range. You casted it, and then you do something, you run away, you go somewhere dangerous, and then it pulls you back to where you targeted. It has a decent mana cost. It's relatively high, but she has good mana. It's health mana growth, or int growth rather, and int stat from the start. Yeah, her agility is decent, but it doesn't grow great, and her strength is decent, and it grows decent as well. She's got 310 move speed to start, which is a little bit fast, but it's about average. It's not much above average. She's got 2.5 armor to start. Her technical starting damage is 46 to 56. And getting to the ultimate, the most important spell in her entire kit. This is the spell I based the entire kit around. So you cast it, and then for the next 4, 5, or 6 seconds, all damage and negative effects that happen to you are delayed until the end of the buff, at which time they play out as they would have happened. While this buff is active, all positive effects and healing are kept track of as well. Ogden's Scepter adds 2 potential more targets for the secondary cast, and increases the duration by 1 second. Now what the secondary cast does, so while this buff is happening, where everything bad is delayed, you can target units, ally or enemy. It has a short cast range, but you can change that. You can make it further with range exchange. So if you target an ally, they will get all the healing that you received over the buff duration, and half of all positive effects. This was to nerf it. I would have done full effect, but it just seemed a little too strong. Because essentially what that would mean is you could triple any buff that's single target, and that's really strong. If it's an enemy that you target with the secondary cast, they take all negative effects and damage that you took over the duration of the buff. This means that you can essentially double. So if you for example activate your ult, spend all of your movement speed into cast range, you will not have the movement speed slow until the end of the buff, but you will have the cast range bonus. So you'll be able to hit things from far away and be fast, and have big damage. And your first spell, like I said, you can cast it on yourself to heal or damage yourself, effectively allowing you to double it. or triple it, or quadruple it depending on your level. Seeing as you could do it to two other units, right? If you heal yourself or damage yourself, you can do it to 2 other units, 3 other units, or 4 other units. The secondary cast has a 40 mana cost per use, so even if you get the Ogden Scepter and you have 2 more potential targets, it's still going to cost you. Her talents are Voice for Arms plus 18 damage per second, and since it's a 5.25 second duration at max level, it's about 100 more damage from this spell. The alternative to level 10 is a 2 mana regen per second. The level 15 talents are Blast / Regen of Distances, their first spell, minus 1.5 seconds cooldown, making it at 4.5 seconds cooldown, or 8% mana cost reduction. And then level 20 is 400 health, or 18% spell amp. And level 25, you can get 140 movement speed, which obviously is really powerful for positioning, and you can use it to convert to cast range to vastly improve your cast range. Or you can match your My Burning Orb last 3 seconds longer, so you get the buff lasting a longer time, which means you're basically invincible with a buff for a very long time. I realize this is a very powerful suggestion in terms of potential strength, but she is countered by someone like a Lifestealer or a Bloodseeker or a Phantom Lancer, because she has to single target things, right? She doesn't have any AoE. She has the single target on her first spell, single target on her third spell, and her ultimate is single target as well. I mean, you can do it to 2 or 3 or 4 units, but still, it's nothing's AoE. And anything that's magic immune will just wreck her, essentially. She can't do anything about it. So like a Lifestealer would be amazing versus her. When you convert your movement speed into cast range, a sound is played nearby, so units know that you're getting stronger, essentially. But obviously, you lose your movement speed, so you can't move very fast either. So yeah, it's a trade. I hope you like her. Any questions or comments, please leave in the comment section. If you want to look at the stats and everything of her, I'll leave a link to this Dota Concept page in the doobly-doo. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day.